It's Friday, March 14th, 2025, and you are listening to episode number 19 of the DogHouse podcast.
From DogHouseSystems.com, this is the DogHouse podcast.
This is episode number 19. We'd like to welcome everybody back. And as always, I've got Abby and Lorenzo joining me. Welcome back to the show, guys.
What's up?
Hello.
Why don't we go ahead and hop right into our first segment, which is Bark Bits. And by the way, we have Scott Johnson is wrapping up the bumpers for the various segments. Can't wait to have those. We should be getting those implemented in the next show or two. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the latest news in tech. The 5080s have landed at DogHouse.
Slay.
We are excited.
I apologize to everyone.
Abby's new favorite word of the day.
Take a drink of water every time I say slay.
So we are really fortunate. We'll use this as an opportunity as a shout out to PNY. They have done a great job of being able to get us allocation. Can't thank them enough for that. And folks, if you were looking for a desktop-based system with an RTX 5080, we have them on the site. Abby, you've got the Armor ES and the TL and the flying rig all set up, ready to rock and roll with the 5080s. Along with that, we thought we would use this opportunity to talk about some NVIDIA news. Maybe not as exciting as about the fact that we got them, but it's kind of semi-disturbing, but it's on a pretty small scale. But there are a case of missing ROPs. And, you know, it's really bad when you're missing ROPs.
That sounds horrible.
It sounds better, I guess, when you spell out the acronym, which is better known as Raster Operations Pipeline. But actually, Lorenzo brought it to our attention before we even got the first set of cards that there was this issue going on. And as a result, what I will say, and I'll let Lorenzo take over, but we have gone through and tested, and I'm happy to say we are not missing any ROPs here.
Yeah, so we're in the process of testing these cards now. But let's step back for a bit. The issue with the missing ROPs, if you have a 5090, the number of ROPs or Raster Operations Pipeline units on your card should be 176. That's on the 5090. On the 5080, it should be 112. And on the RTX 5070 Ti, it should be 96.
Okay, can I ask a real dumb question? It might be. Someone can tell me it's not dumb. But for those of us that don't know what ROPs are, what are ROPs?
They are a piece of hardware on your card that the image needs to pass through and be processed by before being sent to your monitor. So kind of one of the last steps before your card actually sends the next frame to your screen.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not good to be missing, though. It's not good to be missing anything on your card, but...
Yeah.
yeah. So cards that are affected by... So that's the number of ROPs you should have, 176, 112, and 96. If you do not have that number, your card is defective. And as John mentioned, we're going through and testing the cards now. If we find one in the batch that we've received, we'll be RMAing that with PNY in our case. If you are upgrading an older rig, you don't get a card from us, or if you're listening to this and you may not be a DogHouse customer, welcome. But if you have an affected card, please don't return it to the merchant. Please RMA it with the manufacturer, whether that's PNY, Asus, NVIDIA directly, MSI, Gigabyte, whoever manufactures your card, please RMA it with them to get these defective cards out of the market or off the market so that the next person trying to save a few bucks by buying an open box or a returned card doesn't have a defective product as well. Performance-wise, the card will boot up just fine. It'll play games. There may be up to a 4% performance degradation or loss using one of these cards, but from early reports and from what we've seen, they work just fine, but it is a defective product. So get your money's worth. You're spending quite a bit on these cards. Return it to the manufacturer, and from what we've seen, all of the manufacturers have agreed to handle RMAs as a defective product. You shouldn't receive much pushback for it. So
a good point, too, was we don't know, even though you do get that potential 4% drop, we're not sure if that's just the tip of the iceberg. There may be other issues that And we're not saying it definitely would be the case, but if you would just hate to get yourself into a card that all of a sudden you start having these weird other issues.
Exactly. Yeah. And there is a tool. The site that's hosting it is Tech Power Up. And the tool is called GPU-Z. That's GPU, like a graphics card, -Z. Open that application up. You can install it or just run it as a standalone one-time use. And on the left-hand side of the screen, there will be a box labeled ROPS, and you'll just check the number there. If you have the right number, great, enjoy your card. If not, initiate an RMA with the manufacturer.
The link will be in our show notes.
There you go. Thanks, Abby.
And at that point, you might want to go ahead and get a lottery ticket while you're at it, because according to NVIDIA, they're estimating it only affects about 0.5% of all the 50 series cards. So that's roughly what they're thinking is about 1 out of every 200 cards.
Cool. Yeah.
You probably don't have this issue, but we want to bring it to y'all's attention just in case. It'd be better to know and to catch it early on.
In other NVIDIA news, NVIDIA has dropped support for 32-bit CUDA and by extension, their 32-bit PhysX game package pipeline. So affected titles would be stuff like Mirror's Edge, Borderlands 2. These games will run just fine on the new 50 series cards without the 32-bit PhysX support. PhysX just won't be enabled. You can force enable it, but the game will run pretty sluggishly and the animations will be fairly choppy with those, for example, like particle effects, destructible environments, and cloth physics. So like a flag waving in the wind or character models that have PhysX enabled. Yep.
And I was just trying to use the opportunity to see what that dedicated PhysX card was because we couldn't remember it.
That's right. If you have an older card that does support 32-bit PhysX, for the time being, I don't recommend doing this, but if you really want to play one of those titles, you can install that card alongside your new shiny 50 series card and use that as a PhysX accelerator, which is actually the origin of PhysX was a company, and I think you may have found it, John.
Yeah. It looks like EVGA had a dedicated PhysX card. So, yep, in fact, it was. So in this old case, when they did some initial testing, they paired it up with the GTX 560, and it helped give it a boost with those type of effects, in-game effects.
So you can run 2 cards to get PhysX enabled, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Moving along in the news, Intel, they finally named a new CEO, Lip Bhutan, and he comes over from Cadence. He was their CEO, spent a good bit of time, did incredible things for the company. One of the big things there was he raised their stock price over 3,000%, and that wasn't just coincidental. There were a lot of things at Cadence that they did that really helped them. They were in ways, really pioneering the way on certain things such as AI, machine learning, autonomous driving. So he comes over to Intel with a lot of experience, and it's Intel's kind of an interesting time right now.
Yes.
We've been using Intel forever here. It's been just a no-brainer.
Everything they made in the past was rock solid and enterprise grade. So,
and it was a big thing for us to say, we built around Intel building blocks, because if you said that, you gave comfort to the people you were talking to because it was just so rock solid. But they're in the midst of interesting times. I hope. Well, let's put it this way: Wall Street today felt like if anybody could do it, they felt a certain level of confidence. It's going to be tough for one man to just right this ship, because I thought Pat Gelsinger, coming from the engineering side of things from Intel back in the day, 5 years ago when they brought him to be CEO, there was a lot of people at Intel that thought this is the guy that could do it. So fingers are crossed for Intel. There's talks going on with TSMC, or at least I should say rumors, not necessarily talks, but there are rumors that there are discussions that are going on. And that kind of gets interesting. And it's based because around the Intel Foundry. And the talks are that TSMC might be acquiring a stake in the Intel Foundry. And that could be almost Twilight Zone, because we might be looking at TSMC's partners like NVIDIA, AMD, and Broadcom being brought into the fold. Imagine those products being produced out of an Intel fab.
Yeah, we would have come full circle from AMD originally manufacturing Intel CPUs to now Intel possibly manufacturing AMD CPUs.
If it could happen, that's a big if. One, why would this happen? The big thing would be to escape the tariffs. That would be the number one thing. But it's going to be real interesting. That's all speculative, and we'll just have to keep watching the news, and we'll keep you guys posted as we learn as well.
Moving on to maybe a sad day for nonprofit and education employees everywhere. Microsoft is set to bid farewell to Publisher in 2026.
That's sad.
It is, yeah. Publisher is great. Publisher is included with your Microsoft Office license or your Office 365 currently. So quick notes on this. After October 2026, Microsoft will no longer offer for download installers for the perpetual version of Publisher, which if you bought the pay one-time non-subscription license, you'll no longer be able to install Publisher. You also won't be able to install it as part of your Microsoft Office 365 account. If you have it installed, it will still work. No one's going to, at this time anyway, uninstall it from your computer, but it will not receive any security updates, feature updates, or fixes. So
at some point, you might have to create a VM and just keep it in that sandbox.
Run it offline forever. Yeah. Yeah. No, Publisher, like I said, is great. I've worked a lot with Publisher in my time before here, working in nonprofit and education offices. So things like flyers, calendars, booklets. It's great and easy to learn. And I know the new thing is Canva. Canva is also great, and it has a subscription model as well. Yeah.
That one does have a free and a pro version. So you can go check out the free version. You just don't have access to about half of the fonts, graphics, backgrounds, photos, stuff like that. So,
but it's definitely still usable under
the
model.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I used the free version. Sorry, I used the free version for like ever.
That's cool.
It was great.
We appreciate Publisher. It's like I feel sad, but I can't remember the last time I used it on the same token.
I haven't used it since I started here. So
I opened up
it's been a while.
One Publisher file.
Our quick start guide that was made about 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And
So
guess where it was made?
Converted it over.
Canva.
Yeah. So move over to Canva. Adobe is InDesign still
InDesign?
current product.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So their alternative is
Illustrator as well.
Illustrator. Yeah. Microsoft's official guidance is export to PDF or convert to a Word document. So I'd say move it to Canva and Illustrator or InDesign.
They said, I think the reason they're getting rid of it is because you can do everything on Publisher that you could do on Word and PowerPoint. So
that is a bold statement. Say calendar makers everywhere.
They were like, you can just use Word and PowerPoint and it's the same as Publisher.
You can technically edit videos in PowerPoint if you really wanted to.
Really?
It's doable. Yeah, you can set clips to start and end at a certain time. We've done it for some of Jennifer's work projects. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Cool transitions. It'll export as an MP4. It's great. Yeah. Do I recommend it? No. No, but you can if you really need something quick and that you probably already have access to.
Google Sheet, or what is it? Google Slides. I think
Google
I can
Slides,
also do that. All my school presentations were Google Slides.
Yeah, when you're done, export it as a video and just hit play. There you go. Yeah.
Boom, done.
Yeah. In other news, do you need help with your game? Are you struggling to beat that boss or figure out how to beat this level in your RTS of choice? Microsoft is reportedly working on Copilot for gaming. There you go. Simple name. So it will apparently be able to, much like Clippy could help you with your documents in the past, help you figure out strategies, tips, tricks, and your next move in a variety of games. There's currently just a preview video. I'm not sure how it's supposed to work. I imagine it'll read what's on your screen and maybe hook into the game's API a little bit, but it's interesting. I may not be the right targeted demographic, but someone out there will be. Yep.
it's interesting. I wonder if, it would be intrusive on your system. I don't know.
Privacy concerns are there, just like the mandatory, then not mandatory, and now optional recall feature that's supposed to be coming.
Yeah.
I love that the clip that they use for it is Minecraft.
Yeah. What do I do with this block?
What do I do with this wood block?
Yeah. Well, it's a good question because Minecraft, I don't think has any instructions. I think you're just dropped into this. At least last time I played, probably 5 years ago.
I still play it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I re-downloaded it onto my computer because it's just.
Has it changed?
Only with the mods.
Okay.
Not the mods, the mobs. That's what it is.
Okay.
They've added mobs so you can like farm honey from bees. They have bees now. In the game? There are bees. They're these giant like fat bees, and they have their own like hive. So it definitely have changed, but
yeah, the last time I played, I think the new biome was the mushroom biome. It's a long time ago.
They added like a mangrove, a like pale oak with this giant underground ancient city with a mob called the Warden.
The Warden, okay.
Who is like absolutely terrifying because the funny thing is I only ever play in creative. Okay. So, and it's still terrifying. The funny thing is that when you're like somewhere, they have these like they're almost like motion detectors. Almost, that's what they seem like. And then you turn around and you just watch this thing come up from the ground and like crawl out, and you're like, okay, all right.
Wow, okay.
I'm done.
How do those compare to like Endermen?
They're harder to kill.
Really?
I believe.
Okay.
I mean, those are still pretty terrifying, but I also I don't play for anything other than, mindless amusement.
Building stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So they've also added a lot of blocks and stuff. So
this could be pretty cool. I mean, if you get away from the whole privacy thing, let's say you put the thing on, just the fact that you're not having to stop, type something, look it up, go to a game FAQ type thing, come back. I mean, you're using the microphone on the fly. It's like you're talking to somebody that plays the game. So you speak it, and then it's giving you instant feedback.
Oh, I did not think that that's what that was.
Yeah, so
I thought you had to type it, but I guess if you're playing on a console with a controller, you can only speak it.
It'd be different.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. I just still, I don't know. There's a part of me that I don't know, almost consider it cheating in a game in a way I tried to get through it, but then I end up inevitably at times have to go look for a solution. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's really no different. It's just now it's real easy. Imagine these kids playing a game and they just, within a minute, oh, I'm tired. What do I do?
Yeah.
How do I defeat this level?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good and bad, I guess. I guess it's all about perspective.
Depends on how you like to play the game. Are you here just to get the platinum trophy or the 100% done, or are you here to mindlessly wander about and do nothing for days on end?
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
That'd be me.
That definitely
mindlessly
be me.
wander. Would not complete the game.
In other news, WD has completed their separation between WD brand and SanDisk brand. So WD will apparently handle hard drive business, and SanDisk, or Western Digital, will handle the hard drive business, and SanDisk will take over NAND-based products, so flash drives, SSDs, memory cards. It's an interesting move with the recent controversy of SanDisk external USB drives corrupting seemingly over and over again. So I'm not sure. I'm not a business analyst, but it doesn't seem like a smart move from a consumer perspective, at least brand recognition wise. Yeah.
Back in the day, I think it made a lot of sense to Western Digital try to get into the SSD market, and rather than try to reinvent the whole thing, SanDisk was already out there. But SanDisk is, I know when it comes to media, like SD cards and stuff, I've had really good success with them, but I can't exactly say the same when it has come to like the SATA SSDs. And I know they're really kind of going more for the consumer level, not so much enterprise that we deal with a lot here with our business side. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get into tech treats. Abby, you've got some really fun games that are available. Why don't you go ahead and hop on in?
Yeah, so for that fantasy game of the week, I have Neverwinter. It is a free action MMORPG based on the acclaimed Dungeons Dragons fantasy role-playing game. Epic stories, action combat, and classic role-playing await those heroes courageous enough to enter the fantastic world of Neverwinter.
Have you ever played this?
I have not.
Have you, Lorenzo?
I've been saving this since last time. I have never entered Neverwinter. No.
Awesome. And I have not as well. The game, I think, came out around 2013. It looks pretty good. The reviews are pretty decent. Some people did complain about the grinding is maybe a little excessive compared to the other games like World of Warcraft. And then the other complaint, I guess, was about microtransactions. But, I mean, they've got to recoup some money somehow, some way. So I can't fault them for that. But it sounds like it's still, even if you're not partaking in the microtransactions, it's still definitely playable. I might give it a try just to check it out. I have played Neverwinter Nights. I played it to a certain extent. Totally different thing. It's not an MMORPG. It's a single-player type game. But I've always kind of liked the work that kind of comes around this whole D&D side of things. So I think it'd be worth checking it out, especially since it's free.
Yeah, free on Steam. And then the casual game is Stardew Valley. You've inherited your grandfather's old farm plot in Stardew Valley. Armed with hand-me-down tools and a few coins, you set out to begin your new life. Can you learn to live off the land and turn these overgrown fields into a thriving home? It is currently on sale as part of Steam's spring sale for $8.99. And that sale goes until the 20th.
I think of all the games that are out there, I think you'd really get into this one.
I think I might actually pick it up. So
cool.
And then I got a free Epic game of the week.
Nice.
Mortal Shell is a deep action RPG that tests your sanity and resilience in a shattered world. Your adversaries spare no mercy, with survival demanding superior awareness and precision. Possess lost warriors, discover hidden sanctums, and face formidable foes. It is typically $29.99, but it is free on the Epic Games Store through the 19th. And should you play it, the wonderful YouTube channel that we have talked about in the past,
Our best friends
have given it a favorable review, and we'll link it in our show notes for you to go take a look.
Good stuff. And backing up just a little bit, Stardew Valley, I've spent some time on that game. I know Lorenzo spent a little bit of time on it as well. And my kids have really gotten into it through the years. If you haven't played it, we highly recommend giving it a try. And you said that is available on Steam, right?
Stardew Valley?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome for that special pricing. Okay, I think I have a good idea then, because we do the friends and family thing on the Steam.
We do.
So maybe we'll get it for all of us to be able to play on there. So yes, we will get it.
Party rockin'. And then I got some entertainment news for y'all.
Okay.
I didn't know this, okay, but DVDs can get disc rot, which basically happens when the DVD itself gets oxidized under the reflective layer. And basically it creates these, they call them milky spots on the actual disc. Well, Warner Brothers says that it will replace certain DVDs between 2006 and 2008 that are damaged by disc rot, but you could possibly not get the movie that you sent in.
But you'll at least get a movie, right?
You'll at least get a movie. It just may not be the one that you were expecting. So you could send in a, oh God, I'm trying to think of what a Warner Brothers movie is.
Harry Potter or...
Yeah, you could send in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and you may get Scooby-Doo back. It's unclear. So if you do send them in, just have caution that you may not, because some of the titles are no longer in print.
Right.
Or the rights to the movie have expired. So you can be offered to exchange it for a movie of like value, is what they say.
Okay. That almost be kind of fun, because chances are you've already seen the movie. You might end up getting something you've never seen before.
Yeah. Did you also know that, and I just learned this, that a typical DVD has a lifespan of 30 to 100 years? GeForce Now is adding 11 new titles to their, I want to say arsenal this week, including Heroes of the Storm, Warcraft Rumble, and I believe all 3 of the Warcraft Remastered series.
Nice.
So if you missed the sale that we had talked about a couple of episodes ago for the Warcraft bundles, you can play them on GeForce Now if you have an account.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, the animated series?
The animated series. I remember having a conversation where I told you about this and you were like, the movies.
That is immediately where I went when you first talked about it. I was thinking, oh, the blue guys.
Not Pandora. The Last Airbender, and it's the Legends of Korra. They're getting a new show.
Okay.
So this will follow after the Legends of Korra. It's called Avatar: The Seven Havens. And it basically explores a brand new Avatar character following the previous version and her impact on the world. There is a whole lot. I remember watching Avatar as a kid, never got into Legends of Korra. So it'll be really interesting to see their take on this new version.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are you going to be checking it out?
Maybe.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Shrek is getting a new movie. Shrek 5's coming out.
Yes.
2026. So DreamWorks.
Yeah.
DreamWorks posted a 30-second teaser trailer of the new movie. And I know you're not on TikTok, but they have taken these TikTok filtered trends that have included Shrek and have put them in their universe.
Oh, wow.
So the whole thing is they are watching these trends like you would a TikTok. You scroll up and it is just Shrek on the magic mirror. And they tease their daughter, Felicity, who is voiced by Zendaya. And all of them are just like grossed out by this. And it turns out that I believe it's Pinocchio who created all of them.
I saw the trailer. The thing is incredible. It's awesome. The expressions on their faces were great.
Yeah.
Especially his daughter's like.
I'm very excited. I love the Shrek movies. I find them so funny because they poke fun at, I believe the first one poked fun at Disney, second one poked fun at Hollywood. So it'll be really interesting to see what Shrek 5 will poke fun at. Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And then the anti-Oscars.
The Razzies.
The Razzies happened, I believe, last week, maybe. I could be so wrong. So for those of you that may not know, they call them the anti-Oscars because it is the award for the worst movies, actress, actor, screenplay, sequel, prequel, redo. They don't have as many awards, so they're not like technical with like worst CGI or whatever. It's they just recognize the worst movies that have come out in the past year.
And there were a few.
Borderlands was nominated.
Congratulations.
If you remember one of our episodes, we did talk about Borderlands. Megaopolis, I believe that one had Adam Driver in it. They won for worst director.
Ouch.
Joker won for worst duo and
worst on-screen combo. Yeah.
Worst, I believe worst screenplay.
Yeah.
Madam Web won worst movie.
Oh, and actually, Madam Web also got the worst screenplay. So that's but the worst prequel, remake, or rip.
That's right. Yeah. They also won the worst actress.
Oh.
Poor Dakota Johnson. But I found out that if you would like to be a part of the Razzies, it is a $40 payment, and you are in the Razzies Academy. I also found out that if you want to be in the actual academy, it's by invite only. So the Razzies is a little more inclusive. All you have to do is just spend some measly $40 and you're in.
Good times.
Good times. So I don't know if I should say congratulations to all these movies, but congratulations.
Yes.
Because I believe the Razzies is also, I think we should also honor some of the worst movies.
For sure.
Because sometimes you walk out of one and you're like, what just happened?
Exactly.
And if the media does not think you're good.
You know you took it.
Yeah. And then A Different World, which is, what was it?
It was a Cosby Show spin-off.
Yes.
Yeah, from the old 80s show.
Yes. Netflix used AI to bring it to a higher quality, I believe.
Yeah.
And
it didn't do too well.
No, it did not. They say text on signs looks garbled. There's some kind of monstrous background actors. It doesn't look good.
It looks very full of AI.
Very, very computer animated, I will say.
The skin tones was described as looking very waxy. We were looking at one of the images where it was supposed to say resident director, and if just looking at it straight on, it's just like you said, everything's all really garbled.
Sinbad had just a nightmare face.
Yep.
That's the only way I can describe it, unfortunately. But it was in an effort to upscale to 4K.
I don't know. It almost looks like they ought to have a new category on Razzies, and this ought to be able to go to it.
Worst AI.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly looks like something that some middle schoolers put together. I mean, actually, that may be insulting to middle school.
Yeah.
But we'll put it in the show notes. You guys could take a look at it, get a kick out of it. But it is what it is.
Otherwise, I would say Netflix should just put it up. But I don't know if that's possible with a 4K display. So
I want to check it out just to see.
Yeah.
You definitely piqued my interest there. So, well, thank you so much for this wonderful segment.
Oh my God, it was so much, but I had so much fun.
Yes, good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and head on over to our final segment, which is Pack Talk. And we just have one write-in for this week. And this person wrote that saying, I'm still getting a pop-up when I launch WoW. And the wording has changed. To back up a little bit here, this person had already received a pop-up in the past, and they did do a BIOS update, but they went on to say, seems like I do not have the latest BIOS update despite going through it a few months back. And I'll go ahead and read the pop-up that he got from World of Warcraft, and it basically says, World of Warcraft has detected your computer is not, or it is using an Intel 13 or 14th generation processor that does not have the proper updates installed to address potential processor instability issues. It is highly recommended to update the BIOS on your motherboard to the latest version with Intel's microcode 012B or later. And it went on, it gave some really good information in this pop-up. It said that it was an Asus Republic of Gamers ROG Strix Z790-E gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. And the really helpful tip here is that it said that the BIOS release date was from August 7th, 2024. And basically, when you take a look on Asus's support site for that motherboard, the latest version is now version 2703 that will take the microcode up to 012B. And actually, that was from 2703. The latest version, is actually 2801. And that will take it up to the latest microcode. And our recommendation to you is go ahead and follow the directions and download that BIOS. The good thing with Asus is if you accidentally download the wrong BIOS version, it will warn you. It won't let you update it, so you don't have to worry about bricking your motherboard. So again, our recommendation is if you guys are running into this that have a DogHouse system, reach out to us, and what we'll do is we will steer you to the exact BIOS update that you do need, and we can walk you through a step-by-step on getting it installed, and that will take care of that potential issue. Big thanks for Blizzard for actually putting this pop-up notification to be able to help potentially solve a problem before it ever even happens.
Shout out Blizzard.
So I think that just about wraps us up for this episode. And as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you guys would like to be able to reach out to us, Abby has all the wonderful ways that you could do so.
Yeah, you can email us at podcast@doghousesystems.com. You can give us a call at 972-810-4347, or you can DM us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, X, and Threads at Doghouse Systems.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Abby. Appreciate that. Great job of committing that phone number to memory. I put her on the spot. I didn't realize when I asked her that we didn't have that in our show notes. She got through it.
Well, because the funny thing is that every time that I say it, I repeat it in my head, and it's kind of like a little jingle at this point, because it's for me, it's easy to memorize.
Yeah. Well, them. You got it. You nailed it. So we will be back in a couple weeks for episode number 20. Thanks again for listening in. And again, if there's anything you'd like for us to cover, we appreciate the technical questions that have been coming up. So we'll continue going through those in future podcasts. But anything else, any feedback, anything along those lines, reach out to us. And until then, you guys take care, and we will be back in a couple weeks.
See ya.